Ladies and gentlemen, Snowflake here, and welcome to episode 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Behind the Card. Last time out, we did the Dark Magician, so congratulations if you made it to the end of that, because that was a long one. And today we will be reviewing another one of Yugi's favourite cards, which is Gaia the Fierce Knight. Not quite as strong as the Dark Magician, or as historical, but still one of the key parts of Yugi's deck, especially in the early seasons. So if you're watching this straight after the Dark Magician video, glad you're still with us. Either way, welcome, and I hope you will enjoy this video. Now, to start with the basics, Gaia the Fierce Knight is an Earth Attribute Level 7 Warrior type normal monster with 2300 attack and 2100 defense. Its flavor text says, "A knight whose horse travels faster than the wind. His battle charge is a force to be reckoned with." And the battle charge in question is actually a reference to this card, known as Spiral Spear Strike, which specifically is support for Gaia the Fierce Knight. While in the English game it's known as Gaia the Fierce Knight, in Japan it's actually known as Gaia the Darkness Knight. Gaia the Fierce Knight is also a fusion material for Gaia the Dragon Champion, along with Curse of Dragon. Now for some card tips. This card can be searched by the following cards: Dogu, Single Purchase, Temple of the Kings, Transmodify, Painful Escape, Dragoons of Draconia, Summoner's Art, Princess Cologne, Blue Dragon Summoner, Boxer, Frontline Observer, Skilled Blue Magician, Fusion Conscription, Fusion Reserve, Blackluster Soldiers Super Soldier, Gateway to Chaos, and Beginning of Heaven and Earth. You can also special summon it using Ancient Rules from your hand, or Swing of Memories, Soul Resurrection, Birthright, and Silent Doom from your graveyard. You can tribute summon it with one tribute using either the Trojan Horse, Earth Effigy, or the First Monarch. Now for the fun part, the anime appearances. Gaia the Fierce Knight makes an appearance in episode 1, and when Yugi duels against Seto Kaiba, he summons it in attack mode and then uses it to attack Kaiba's powered up Sagi the Dark Clown and destroy it. However, it is then immediately destroyed by Kaiba's first Blue Eyes White Dragon.
He entrusted me with his cards, and I can feel his heart in this deck. I doubt you have that kind of faith in your cards, Kaiba.
What?
But I believe in my grandpa's deck. And my faith rewards me with Gaia, the Fierce Knight, with a destructive power of 2300!
Way to go, Yugi!
All right, Kaiba, your move.
Ha! This'll be over sooner than you think. I call on the Blue Eyes White Dragon!
No way!
Impossible! We all watched Kaiba tear that card in half!
Surprised? Did you think your grandfather was the only one to possess a Blue Eyes White Dragon? Your Fierce Knight is destroyed.
In episode 5, Yugi uses this in his duel against Weevil, the first duel of Duelist Kingdom. He summons it in attack mode and then tries to attack Weevil's Cocoon of Evolution. Unfortunately, the field power bonus makes Yugi's attack fail, and Cocoon of Evolution's defense is too high. Later on, however, Yugi uses Curse of Dragon and Burning Land to destroy the forest area, allowing Gaia to attack and destroy Cocoon of Evolution. However, Weevil is still able to summon his Great Moth despite the destruction of the Cocoon, and then uses it to attack this and Yugi's Beaver Warrior. However, Yugi is able to somehow activate Polymerization on Weevil's turn to fuse this with Curse of Dragon and summon Gaia the Dragon Champion. Unfortunately, the Beaver Warrior did not survive.
Gaia, the Fierce Knight! Shatter that cocoon!
Ah, the field power bonus makes it too strong.
That's one turn down! Care to try again?
Weevil's cocoon is gonna be tough to crack, and for each attack that fails, my life points go down.
Your cocoon was too tough to attack directly. But without its field power bonus, it's just a big target. Now let's try this again. Gaia the Fierce Knight! Attack!
He did it!
Popped it open like a zig.
Is it still alive?
I've got a bad feeling we're about to find out.
See anything?
It's still moving.
You're surprised?
It must have evolved enough to survive.
I told you Weevil was good.
I'm impressed that you pierced my cocoon, Yugi, but still you were unable to stop the evolution of my ultimate insect, the Great Moth!
But I thought it took 5 turns.
So you stopped him one turn early. He's still strong enough to beat you. You'll pay for that stinging jab with your life points.
Duel!
Great Moth, take flight!
So be it. We'll settle this in the skies.
Yugi's dragon is no match for my Great Moth, and none of his land monsters have the ability to attack me in the air! But which puny creature shall I obliterate first? I think it's high time I pay back your knight for demolishing my cocoon.
My knight! He's the heart of my attack force. There's no way I can afford to lose him.
This is it, Yugi! My Great Moth will crush your defenses, slay your knight, and blast your dragon from the sky!
Not if I can help it, Weevil.
But that's just it! You can't help it! Moth Hurricane attack!
No! My Beaver Warrior! My defense!
It's hopeless! Nothing can stand against the gale force winds of my Moth Hurricane! Your knight will be totally blown away! That'll teach him to mess with my cocoon!
Don't count on it.
Huh?
Weevil, you were so busy fawning over your moth, you didn't notice I played a polymerization card.
But I thought...
If I have 2 compatible monsters on the field, I can use my polymerization card and fuse them into one ultimate creature.
I'm not some beginner. I know what fusion does.
Then you must know it increases my attack points. My fused Dragon Knight combo is now powerful enough to go head-to-head with your Great Moth.
In episode 15, Yugi uses this in his duel against Panic. He summons it in attack mode, but straight away uses polymerization to fuse it with Curse of Dragon in order to summon Gaia the Dragon Champion.
And my card is Gaia, the Fierce Knight!
Idiot! Do you really think a monster with attack power that weak can break through my Chaos Shield?
Maybe not by himself, but I also have a magic card. Read it and weep.
A polymerization card!
And with this card, I combined them to create Gaia, the Dragon Champion! Now my combo creature's attack power is raised to 2600.
In episode 23, Yugi uses this in his rematch with Kaiba outside Duelist Kingdom. He recalls his Dark Magician before doing this, even though you can't actually do that in the card game because he's scared of Kaiba's face down card. So instead he summons Gaia the Fierce Knight and uses it to attack Sagi the Dark Clown, same way it did in episode 1, but this time Kaiba's able to activate Crush card, destroying Gaia and every other monster with more than 1500 attack in Yugi's deck.
Alright, good card. Gaia the Fierce Knight. He wiped the floor with Sagi in my first duel with Kaiba.
And he will defeat Sagi once again. Gaia, the Fierce Knight! In attack mode! Dark Clown has been vanquished, Kaiba!
Vanquished and sacrificed are two very different things, Yugi. Look again!
No! What's happening? Gaia!
Not just Gaia, Yugi.
No! My Dark Magician! What have you done, Kaiba?
It's really quite ingenious, actually. Knowing that you couldn't resist attacking my Dark Clown, I infected him with the Crush Card virus.
A Crush Card?
By destroying the infected Sagi, you released the Crush Card virus. A virus that is so highly contagious to duel monsters that even as I speak these words, it is infecting all but the weakest cards in your precious dueling deck.
No! My cards!
The only monsters unaffected by the Crush Card virus are those with an attack power weaker than 1500. Looks like I've broken the heart of your cards, Yugi.
In episode 29, Yugi uses this in his duel against Mai. He summons it in attack mode and then tries to attack Mai's Harpy Lady, but Mai activates Mirror Wall, negating Gaia's attack and halving it. Later on, Harpy Lady, who's got 1800 attack due to Cyber Shield, is able to attack and destroy it.
I better finish this fast. The quicker I defeat Mai, the less chance for interference by the spirit inside my Millennium Puzzle.
Gaia the Fierce Knight! Attack, Harpy Lady!
Gotcha. Thanks, Yugi. I wanted you to attack. It'll set off my trap.
No! My knight! A wall!
Your Gaia ran smack into my mirror wall, which cuts any of your monster's attack power in half. As soon as your monster attacked, the mirror wall rose up to protect my Harpy Lady. Your Fierce Knight met an equal attack from its own reflection, draining half its points. Pretty darn slick, huh, Yugi? Guess it's my turn again. High fashion for Harpy Lady. Cyber Shield! The makeover's complete. Harpy Lady, attack Gaia! Cyber Slash! Well, like they say, nice Gaias finish last.
He's gone. Harpy Lady's claw attack reduced my Fierce Knight to ribbons.
In episode 30, in the same duel, Yugi brings it back with Monster Reborn, and then on the final turn of the duel, uses Blackluster Ritual to tribute it and Karibo in order to ritual summon Blackluster Soldier. Gaia the Fierce Knight and Blackluster Soldier are actually quite tied to each other lore-wise, which explains why Yugi used Monster Reborn to bring this back rather than the more powerful Dark Magician. We'll get into that more later.
This card worked for you. Monster Reborn! I use Monster Reborn to bring back Gaia, the Fierce Knight!
Oh, Fierce Knight, Schmear's Knight. I guess he's an improvement over that little Karibo. But he hardly represents a threat to my Harpies and their supercharged pet.
Well, Mai. You've put up a good fight, but now the duel ends.
Huh?
Starting with this card, Blackluster Ritual!
What?
Watch, the Blackluster Ritual works by sacrificing all of the monsters I have placed on the field. Combining the energies of my two separate monsters. And the forces of light and darkness intertwine, opening the gates of chaos, bringing forth...
Oh no!
the Blackluster Soldier!
In episode 33, Yugi uses this card during his duel against Joey, but before that, you see Gaia the Fierce Knight appear during the montage song in the background behind Yugi, and also appears in a similar fashion later in the episode when Yugi is explaining to Joey that all of his moves count. Later in the episode, Yugi summons Gaia the Fierce Knight and uses it to attack and destroy Joey's Guilty of a Dark Knight, and then later uses polymerization to fuse it with Curse of Dragon in order to fusion summon Gaia the Dragon Champion.
So straight to the heart of the cards.
Dude, every single move you make is crucial. One false card and it can cost you everything you've worked so hard for.
I got it. Every move I make here has got to be right on the dot.
That's right, because here no one lets a mistake go unpunished. Not Pegasus and not me.
Okay, time in. Now give me your best shot, pal.
I intend to. Go, Gaia the Fierce Knight! Attack! Guilty of the Knight is no more.
You sure took it to midair, Yug. Good move. Now let's see what old Joey can come up with.
Precisely. Curse of Dragon! Attack mode! And next, I'll use this polymerization card to fuse my dragon with Gaia the Fierce Knight!
What?
Behold, Gaia the Dragon Champion!
In episode 35, this is one of the cards that appears in Yugi's thoughts when he notes it will take all the wisdom his grandfather taught him and all the power in his cards to defeat Pegasus.
It will take all the wisdom my grandpa gave me and all the power in my cards, but I will defeat him!
In episode 40, this card is shown in one of the tablets while Yugi and Shadi are wandering through Atem's mind within the Millennium Puzzle.
Why does it yield to you? What is all this? What are these stone tablets?
5,000 years ago, Egyptian kings played a game of great and terrible power.
Here is a screenshot, which I believe is supposed to show Gaia the Fierce Knight. In episode 45, Yugi uses this when facing the Big Five's mythic dragon at the end of the Legendary Heroes arc. Even though it's not a dragon type and therefore cannot attack on the field, he uses Blackluster Ritual to tribute it in Curse of Dragon in order to ritual summon Blackluster Soldier.
There's one creature that can beat it. Blackluster Soldier! I summon you! By sacrificing the power of my Dark Knight and my Curse of Dragon!
In episode 50, Yugi uses this card during his duel against Bandit Keith, possessed by Marek. He uses Polymerization to fuse it with Curse of Dragon in order to summon Gaia the Dragon Champion.
I have too much at stake in this game, so take this! I play Curse of Dragon in attack mode, and I play Gaia, the Fierce Knight! But that's not all. I also use my polymerization card to combine these two monsters in order to create Gaia, the Dragon Champion!
In episode 108, this card can be seen when Kaiba is building his deck for his duel against Lecter.
So go ahead and choose your deck from the virtual cards database. Gladly.
In episode 131, this card is seen in a series of flashbacks Kaiba has during his duel with Yugi, noting that he always feels excited whenever he duels against him.
This is the duel I've been waiting for. It's the ultimate battle of intellect and power. Every time I duel against Yugi, I'm pushed to my limits and challenged in every possible way.
In episode 161, when Yugi rematches Weevil, who's now part of the Steel Orichalco's team in the Waking the Dragons arc, Yugi uses this card with Curse of Dragon using Polymerization to summon Gaia the Dragon Champion in a callback to his original duel with Weevil.
I play Polymerization, allowing me to fuse my knight and my dragon to form Gaia, the Dragon Champion!
Finally, in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, in episode 223, during Yugi's duel against Atem, this card appears in a flashback Taya has as she remembers this card was one of the monsters that both Yugi and Atem used.
デーモンの召喚だと暗黒騎士ガイアと デーモンも召喚。
どちらも遊戯を支え、共に戦ってきたモンスターたち。
ああ、ピンチのたびに2人の遊戯を救ってきたモンスターたちだ。
それが今こうして敵味方で戦うことになるなんて。
2人が戦うことで本当に辛いのはモンスターたちなのかもしれねえな。
Gaia the Fierce Knight also makes a brief appearance in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX sub. In episode 23, this card was one of the cards used by an opponent that Belowski faced in a flashback. If you don't remember who Belowski is, he's a Moki Moki guy. Anyway, the clip will show all.
シニョールモテギは3年前学園の誇るナンバーワンデュエリストだったのね。相手の戦術、伏せカードの読み、全てにおいて彼は天才的デュエリストだったのね。
In the Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG Structures manga, in Chapter 11, Shoma Yusa sends a copy of his card from his deck to the graveyard in his duel against Misguide for the effect of Beginning of Heaven and Earth, as shown in this scene. This card also makes an appearance in a couple of the scripted duels that take place between two voice actors who participate in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. For example, in North American WCQ 2014 special Astral vs. Yugi, this card is discarded by Yugi via card destruction.
In attack mode. Next, I activate Card Destruction. This spell card forces each of us to discard our hands and draw the same number of cards that we discarded. I discard Brain Control, Mystical Elf, Burning Land, and Gaia the Fierce Knight to draw 4 more cards.
Thank you. I will discard my hand and draw 6 new cards. These new cards will help me out considerably.
My card destruction may have provided you with minor assistance, but it shall prove to be even more powerful to me. My card destruction gave me more than just a new hand. It also allows me to add 1 spell counter to my skilled Dark Magician. You see, Astral, whenever a spell card is activated, I can add a spell counter to my skilled Dark Magician.
What do spell counters do?
You will see soon enough.
This card also appears in Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duel Match of the Millennium when Yugi duels against Pegasus. Yugi first uses Summoner's Art to add this to his hand, then he uses his Knight of Legend skill to summon this card without tributing, as both players have access to skills in this duel. This card attacks Toon Gemini Elf, but Pegasus activates Security Orb to switch this card to defense position. On his next turn, Yugi tributes it and Celtic Guardian to summon Dark Magician.
Next, I activate Summoner's Art. This card lets me add a level 5 or higher normal monster from my deck to my hand. I choose Gaia the Fierce Knight. Now, I activate my skill.
Your skill?
That's right, Pegasus. You underestimated me. You didn't realize how quickly I would adapt to the rules of speed dueling. But underestimating me will prove to be a costly mistake. I activate Knight of Legend. This skill allows me to normal summon a Gaia the Fierce Knight without tribute each turn. Come forth, Gaia the Fierce Knight! In addition to making it easier to summon Gaia, the Knight of Legend skill also allows any Gaia the Fierce Knight monster or Gaia the Dragon Champion monster I control to inflict piercing damage while it's attacking a defense position monster. Plus, once per turn, if it inflicts piercing damage with this skill, I get to draw 2 cards and then discard 1 card.
I'm impressed with how quickly you adapted to the rules of my speed duel, Yugi boy. But it sounds like you're forgetting about the drawback attached to your Knight of Legends skill. While Gaia is on your field, you can't activate set cards in your spell and trap card zone. That's going to render you defenseless on my next turn.
I don't need face-down cards, Pegasus. I put my faith in Gaia the Fierce Knight. Gaia, attack and destroy Pegasus's Toon Gemini Elf.
Your faith is misplaced. I activate my trap card, Security Orb. This trap card switches your attacking monster into defense position, rendering it harmless. My Toon Gemini Elf isn't going anywhere. Lucky break. It's your move.
I draw. I tribute Gaia the Fierce Knight and Celtic Guardian. Come forth, my ever-faithful companion, Dark Magician! With Gaia off my field, I can once again activate face-down cards. I'm setting 2 of them.
Yugi uses this card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 Tag Force Special. And now for some card trivia. This monster helped inspire the Gaia Knight series, which mainly consists of monsters with 2600 attack that resemble Gaia the Fierce Knight. And there is at least one for each extra deck summoning mechanic. For example, Xyz monsters, you have Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger, and Gaia Stream the Graceful Force. There are a lot of other Gaia the Fierce Knight support cards out there. However, since they specify Gaia the Fierce Knight monsters and not specifically the Gaia the Fierce Knight card, we're not going to cover them all in this video. In terms of fusion monsters, there's Gaia Drake the Universal Force. There's also Gaia the Dragon Champion, which we went over earlier. Gaia the Magical Knight of Dragons. Gaia Prominence the Fierce Force. And Sky Galloping Gaia the Dragon Champion. There are a couple of synchro monsters. There's Gaia Knight the Force of Earth, which also has no effect, similar to the original Gaia the Fierce Knight. And Gaia Blaze the Force of the Sun. There's also a Link monster called Gaia Saber the Lightning Shadow, which also doesn't have an effect. There are also 2 effect monsters, known as Gaia the Midnight Sun, where Gaia is light and the horse is dark, and Gaia the Polar Knight, where Gaia is dark but the horse is light, which have very similar effects. This monster has several retrains. Younger Gaia the Fierce Knight is known as Gaia the Fierce Knight Origin. There are direct retrains, such as Swift Gaia the Fierce Knight, which Yugi starts to use after the Duelist Kingdom arc in the place of the original Gaia the Fierce Knight, as well as Lord Gaia the Fierce Knight. There are also supports which are retrained as Blackluster Soldier support. Like I said earlier, Gaia the Fierce Knight and Blackluster Soldier are quite tied together, especially with recent releases of new cards. There is Arisen Gaia the Fierce Knight, who, if it's tributed, you can special summon Blackluster Soldier from your hand or graveyard, and you can also banish it from your graveyard as one of the monsters required for the ritual summon of Blackluster Soldier. And there's also Charging Gaia the Fierce Knight, which can be summoned without tributing, and if it does, its attack becomes 1900, and if it's tributed, you can add a Blackluster Soldier monster from your deck to your hand. There are also a couple of Gaia the Dragon Champion support retrains, such as Gaia the Magical Knight, which, if it's normal or special summoned, you can special summon a level 5 dragon monster from your hand or graveyard in defense mode. There's also Soldier Gaia the Fierce Knight, which lets you special summon it by tributing a dragon fusion monster. And you can also tribute this card to add a level 7 or higher warrior monster from your deck to your hand, except Soldier Gaia. In the manga and some of the video games, this card is required to ritual summon Blackluster Soldier, hence why Yugi uses it to ritual summon Blackluster Soldier in his duel with Mai, as well as when he faced the Mythic Dragon in the Legendary Heroes arc. Bandai version of this card is level 6, has 1600 defense, and the horse is more blue compared to the violet color of the original version. The original Konami version is level 7 and has 2100 defense instead. Gaia the Fierce Knight, being a protagonist purple warrior type monster with 2300 attack, is not unique to him, as there are some other examples of other protagonists that have such cards, such as Yusei Fudo and his Junk Warrior, as well as Yusaku Fujiki's Decode Talker, which is actually a Psyburst type, but visually looks like a warrior. This card appears in the artwork of Spiral Spear Strike, Heroes Guild, which is ironically a card that Jaden uses in his duel against Yugi, and Baton of a Hero, which is a card that Yusei used in his duel against Kalin, and is then later used by Haldor in his duel for Team Ragnarok against Yusei and Team 5Ds. This is one of the monsters we see on Pharaoh Atem's side of the field on the famous Tablet of Lost Memories. In the Yu-Gi-Oh! Toei anime, Gaia the Fierce Knight has a brown horse compared to the usual violet. This card's first OCG artwork is taken from Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel 37 of the manga To the Depth, showing this monster being summoned in the duel against Kaiba. Its second artwork is taken from Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Duel 59, the Legendary Swordsman, specifically from when it was used for the effect of Blackluster Ritual and sacrificed to summon Blackluster Soldier. Gaia's horse appears in the artwork of the fusion monster Dark Cavalry, which sort of implies that Dark Cavalry is canonically a fusion of Dark Magician and Gaia the Fierce Knight's horse. Okay, that is it for this episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Behind the Card. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this video stays up and you guys are able to watch it. So far, all 3 episodes I've uploaded so far I've managed to stay on YouTube, which is great. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed Gaia the Fierce Knight and its history. If I've missed anything, please feel free to let me know. If you have anything interesting you want to add, let me know in the comments. But for now, I'll see you in a bit for the next episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Behind the Card. Take care, have a great day.